Good morning. My name is Raymond Greenwood, and the question is for all candidates. The sale of illegal marijuana in the city of Vancouver. It is terrible. There is now 53 stores in Vancouver operating without business licenses, and as of next week, one is opening up in Christy Clark's old campaign office at 3600 West Broadway. It is illegal. I spoke to a police officer yesterday, and they are very frustrated on the force that they're not allowed to police it. And today, in Ian Mulgrew, right in the Vancouver Sun, he talks about how big a business it is.
What is your question, and to which candidate?
Who is going to stop the sale of illegal marijuana in the city?
And kick it off with Menna Wong.
Thank you very much for the question. This is the issue. Let me share with you about my experience. I work in mental health and with Vancouver Coastal Health. When I was at UBC Mental Health Hospital, and I encountered young people, adolescents, older young adults, and then many of them experience psychosis. And I also studied that the reports came out that when young people, before their brain become fully developed, and if they smoke, that can cause psychosis. The rate goes up. So I do see there's a need. But on the other hand, my friends died from cancer, and marijuana oil helped her to relieve pain. So there's a need for medicinal marijuana, definitely. But for young people, young kids and young adults, before their brain developed, they need to have control.
I bought some, and I have no health conditions, and they sold me some. I got a free membership, and now I'm high on marijuana.
Kirk LaPoint.
Well, luckily you're adult. Your brain is not going to be affected.
Kirk LaPoint.
Interesting early morning discussion. Look, the science...
What's that buzz on anybody?
I'll take your word. The science is clear, right? That brains under about the age of about 22 really experience serious disruption with marijuana as they do with alcohol. And so the city, I think, has not been conscientious in determining, first of all, how to accord business licenses to the legitimate medical marijuana dispensaries. And they do exist. And I agree with Menna that there are people in great pain and suffering who require it. And that's what the city has to look after. What it should not be doing is giving an opportunity for a front, for big grow-ops, for organized crime to just run recklessly through the community and sell not just basic marijuana, but products of it like cookies that are laced with other chemicals. This has been an irresponsible oversight on the part of the city, and it will change after the election.
Gregor Robertson.
Thanks. Well, it is a challenge for the city to grapple with, given the gray area that we're in terms of the federal government's position and drug laws. Ultimately, the government of Canada is the authority on this, and they have vacated the field largely. Medicinal marijuana, I think many people now agree. Certainly, the academic research suggests that it is needed and a necessary treatment that people seek. So we know that that is protected. I know the VPD do focus on the organized crime element of this and making sure that these dispensaries are not organized crime operations. They have shut some of them down when that's been clear, and focused on violent crime, focused on more severe crimes in Vancouver, where we've seen a 20% drop in crime across the city over the past 5 years. So they're making progress focusing on the real crime needs, and until the federal government and the province decide what they're going to do with marijuana going forward, whether they tax and regulate it or continue to be prohibition, I think we're in this gray area as a city.
Well, Your Honor, the person told me that it was Mayor Gregor Robertson allows the sales of it, and the policeman yesterday at the Cenotaph told me that they have been told by senior management not to do anything about policing. The one you're referring to was 2 instances, and it was illegal food marijuana products. It is illegal to sell. They do not pay a City of Vancouver business license.
Okay,
it's as simple as that.
Let's open it for discussion now.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, your point is...
I've heard the same thing from police. Police say that they're not given any direction at all on this. They're obviously called in when there are minors who are having products sold to them, and they deal with that. But in terms of shutting them down, the police will tell you that they know that a lot of these operations are seriously, they're fronts for a lot of organized crime, and that it is a huge headache for them to crack down on it without the kind of clear business licensing that gives them some leverage in order to start cracking down and have enforcement. And I think, I think you've just kind of let this one go. You haven't really decided that this is an issue for the community. A lot of these places are set up near community centers, they're in family neighborhoods. In a lot of cases, they're large traffic for children on the street.
Well, I think, it's really important to recognize the good work that the VPD has done. They have done extraordinarily well reducing crime in the city. 20% reduction in crime, violent crime and property crime since 2009 is real success, and that's because they've had a focus on those serious crimes. When the federal legislation is not clear, when the federal government is not sending a clear signal, it makes it very difficult for local police forces to enforce the law. The law that it is very unclear. So it's our VPD focuses on the laws that are very clear and the violent crime that we need to reduce in the city.
Precisely, you're talking about violent crime.
Until the federal government makes it clear on the direction for marijuana, and there's obviously big decisions coming in the near future on this. And at that point, it will be clear to the cities across Canada what actions we can take.
Okay,
the break entering crime rate has gone up because of the poverty, because of the affordability in this city has gone up, and the city is no longer affordable for people. And also with drugs and with all this happening with mental health issue, with people not having a permanent home, all mixing together. That's what we have. Look at the downtown east side. I mean, when was the last time you walked around there?
Yesterday?
Oh yes, only during election. I mean, between election, right? People would never seen you down there.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, but talking to people.
That's ridiculous.
And talking to people there, I was told that they're sick and tired of being paid lip service. A mat on the floor is not a home for them. And then you're talking about, drugs and people are being affected.
We talked to a first responder yesterday who said that you had gone off to one of the legions yesterday and said that in fact there is no public safety issue here, that public safety is not a big election issue, and that after the election can't really expect it to be a high priority, that the city's done what it can do on that. Did you say that?
No, we have, it has certainly not been like Surrey. We've seen crime being number one. When we've been successful in reducing crime in Vancouver,
did you actually tell a first responder that
public
safety is not a high priority for the city at the moment?
It's a very high priority issue. That's why we continue to fund the police and fire at unprecedented levels, in contrast to what the NPA's lack of support is.
So he's not telling us the truth.
I have to cut it off there, unfortunately. We've run out of time. We do have another question.